Last week, before I went on vacation, a week ago Friday, I showed you this chart which I coined the phrase the fear factor. And what I tried to show was how what I think is about to happen or is in the process of happening is equivalent to what happened when we entered the fear factor, which we called the pandemic. And the market dropped some 35% in a matter of several weeks. I think that something very similar is going to happen, and it's going to happen as a result of the tariffs that are being put in place, government layoffs. As I said, I can't imagine being a civil servant today and going home to my family and saying, hey, we've got to cut everything back. We've got to cancel that vacation. We got to cancel that car. We got to cancel everything because I don't know if I'm going to be employed next week. That's fear, and it's rampant. And we then add to that inflation. I laugh at the price of eggs as an example, but now they're talking about the price of beef, that interest rates are not going to come down, according to Jerome. So fear is taking over. And I think what is needs to be recognized is that you need to react to that fear. Now, last week I went to about 30% cash before I went on vacation. My only regret is I didn't go even deeper into cash as I come back after a vacation. Because right now, the Dow is down substantially. The QQQs are down 7% in the week I was gone. The S&P's down 6%. And I think there's a good possibility that there's another 22% downside coming in the near future. And you need to know how to take advantage of it. So what I'm looking at is saying, okay, how do I analyze those specific stocks? If I believe that, in fact, the QQQs will drop, and that's where most of my stocks are, another 22%, then what am I going to do as an investor, as a long-term investor, to take advantage of it? Well, I need to understand what is going to drive these stocks to new highs in the future. And I believe that you need to identify growth stocks. And a growth stock, in my world, is a stock that it has the ability, and has shown the consistent ability, to grow revenues somewhere between 15 and 20% per year on a consistent basis. If they'll do that, they will grow their earnings by anywhere from 20 to 25 and maybe even higher percent over the future. And then their stock price will go up on an average of somewhere around 30 to 35%. And if I dig deeper, I might be able to find some that are more. So what I have done is I have taken my Kerry's tell sheet and taken those factors, revenue growth, earnings growth, and then projected, based on what Wall Street is telling me, what their growth is going to be over the next 3 years of the 60 stocks that I follow. Then what I do is I go and search the how far off their 52-week high are they. So if I believe that the market is going to correct to the 35% of the pandemic, how much farther do they have to go from their 52-week high? And I see that there's some who are already down 60% from their 52-week high. And there are others who are approaching that 35%. And that's on my tell sheet. So then I go and I say, okay, what is Wall Street's projections on these stocks, and how far off those projections are they on an individual basis? So I've got more data coming in that I can make a good investment decision. Then what I do is go to Wall Street and say, okay, what are you projecting their earnings per share to be in 2028? And with that number, what and putting it against a conventional PE ratio of 25, what in fact is the price of the stock going to be on January the 1st of 2028. So I can then put all this information together. I can search their balance sheets and find out which are the companies that are gearing up for growth by making extraordinary expenditures into upgrading for AI, as well as adding possibly to their workforce, and then putting all this information together, putting an equation or an algorithm that assigns a weight of importance to each of the 7 areas that I analyze, and then rank the stocks accordingly. Okay? Then what I do on the far right side of my chart here I'm showing you is I do a deep dive. Here is where artificial intelligence comes in. I go in and gather all the information I can, including their balance sheet, their spreadsheet, or their income statement, their cash flow statements. I get a copy of their transcript from their earnings report. I gather a number of articles from analysts, and then I create a podcast, a 15-minute podcast that is done by AI that explains to you what this company does for a living, how they are approaching AI, how they are approaching the future, what do their finances look like, and put that in a podcast. So you have now the information on their growth factor and how they are projected to grow. Then you have at your disposal what they do and how they are proposing to go on to the future. Now, if you don't want to listen to a podcast, I create a briefing. And that briefing is a written summary of the podcast. Then what I do is go into AI and say, okay, here is their balance sheet. Here is their income statement. Here is their cash flow statement. Here is their financing. Give me a health representation. How healthy financially is this company? I just started that the week before I went on vacation, but I will do that for each of the stocks, and I then give you the dates that I updated each of these. So what I want to do is to create a document that you can come to and you can look at and you can learn who are these companies, what do they do, and how well are they doing it? How depressed are they? What is their growth potential under any number of factors? And what makes a good investment decision? Then what I do, which I'm not showing you here, is I create my portfolio and I share with you how I'm using this information to manage my portfolio. Is it financial advice? No, it is not. What it is me sharing my knowledge and my experience and how I'm reacting to it so that hopefully you can make a better investment decision. Now, what I'm going to do the rest of this week is go in a deep dive into exactly what this tell sheet offers you, so that you can join our gold platform. It costs $19.95 a month. And then if you'll do that today, the rest of this week's videos and future videos that I will give to those members in the future as this updates, as prices change, as the fear takes over, and then the fear reverses. Again, what we know for a fact, or at least I believe for a fact, is this will all turn around. But this is a buying opportunity comparable to that of March through, what was it? It lasted about 4 months, the pandemic, and then everybody went back to work and the market reached new highs. That is what I believe is going to happen. That is what I am preparing for. And that's what I'd like to share with you. And then ask you to give me input so that we build a community that works together for our total benefit. Right now, I create this myself, okay? It takes a lot of work. What I want to do is invest in AI. I want to invest in an AI agent that will do this, fill these squares, these boxes in this chart every day. Make a new podcast every quarter. Make a new briefing. Make a new health analysis through AI and put it in this form. I figure this is going to cost me somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000 a month. I'm not prepared to do that for myself. So what I'm doing is reaching out to the investment community and saying, if you'd like access to this information, if you'd like to be a part of this, join my gold platform and we'll share the cost. My goal is to, as quickly as possible, get 3,000 of you paying me a $20 a month, and I can generate the money to give us the advantage that Wall Street has had over us for years. I want to level the playing field, but I need your help to do it. And that's what I'm asking. Help me help you. I'll charge you $19.95 a month to offset what I believe is going to cost me $30,000 to $40,000 a month. If you want to be a part of this, now's the time to step forward. Go to my website, Best of Us Investors, or go to the link in the description that will take you to the Gold platform. Sign up for the Gold platform at $19.95 a month, and I'll walk you through this. I'll teach you how to read it and how to make better investment decisions, and we will prosper as a community. I hope to see you next Friday at our Stock Talk.